It's your golden hour. Smile. It's your golden hour.
A clear path to efficient work. With Monday.com.
Is Tails.com suitable for dogs with allergies or food intolerances? Definitely. Our team of experts can create a hypoallergenic kibble blend just for your dog, leaving out common allergens or problem ingredients to support their well-being. Sign up today to get your welcome offer.
A clear path to efficient work. With Monday.com.
Is Tails.com suitable for dogs with allergies or food intolerances? Definitely. Our team of experts can create a
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. Hello, good evening everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. Good evening everyone. Thank you for joining me once again this evening for another session of our OSCE study with me, with Emer. I hope you can hear me. Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. Yes, okay, that's good. Thank you, Jimena. All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's just wait for a couple more people and we will make a start. Yeah. So, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. And of course, please do follow me across my social media accounts. I hope the internet is fine. Yeah. I think I can see some lag on my screen. Um, yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Hi Aisha. Hi Jemima. We also have Joey Cruz. Um, please do subscribe. Yep. And of course, please do like the video. And of course, do share this and invite your friends. We normally do the live stream every week, every Wednesday or Thursday. In the last few weeks, we've been doing it every Thursday, every 8 o'clock in the evening. So more people can join. I know some of you are working during the day. You had like a long day shift. So I hope that's why we do it 8 o'clock in the evening. So you can listen or you can definitely join us. Let's do some audience check. Yeah. Please type on the chat box which part of the country or the UK you're from, so we know who's watching us this evening. Okay. So shout out to everyone who's watching us tonight, and of course for those people who will be watching this live stream in the future. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Okay, let's wait for more people. So tonight, what's our topic? Our topic is about um evidence-based practice. There you go. I know most of you want to discuss evidence-based practice. So we will be discussing it this evening. Okay, we will be discussing it this evening. So guys, please again do subscribe on my channel and click the notification bell so you will get notified every time I go live. And of course, please do subscribe on. I mean, follow me on my social media accounts. Of course, X, my Facebook page and my Instagram, and of course my TikTok. So I don't know for those people who's following me on TikTok, you've seen the announcement, yeah? Go to my TikTok, on my TikTok, and then you will see the video there somewhere. So it's Emer Diego, across social media accounts. Hi, Ding. Yeah, please do like this video. So again, thank you for joining me. I know most of you are tired now. You had like a long day shift, so thank you for joining me. Invite your friends so they can join and listen. Again, if you're new to the class, we do live stream every week. Every week. Most of the time it's Thursday or Wednesday. 8 o'clock in the evening. So you can have your dinner with me. Okay. Um, all right. So we will be discussing what are we going to discuss? We're going to discuss evidence-based practice as requested and as promised last week. Um, yeah. So, of course, we cannot discuss all the scenarios. We will try and discuss as many scenarios as we can. But hopefully, you will answer all the question as always. I don't have any presentations. I don't have any slides to show on the screen. We will just chat. Yeah, we will just chat. We will just discuss what the answers are or what to expect during this station. I hope you can see if you love my background. We're using green and red. Okay. It's not a political color, yeah. It's green and red. That's the combination this evening. And of course, you can see on the right hand side this one. Sorry, this one. I'm going to run next year for the London Marathon. So hopefully, please, if you can, please donate to Victa. That's the charity I'm supporting. Victa, they empower children and adolescents um, who are blind. Okay, so that's the charity is all about. So if you can, please do it. You will see the link on the comment section of this video, or it's the pinned. You will see it on the comment somewhere. Okay, so shall we start? So yeah, guys, if you can, please introduce. Let me know. Let us know which part of the world you are from, or which part of the UK you are from on the comment section, so I know who's watching. Okay. So where's my glasses? Yeah, please do type it in the chat box. Um, all right. Just let me just find the marking criteria. Okay. Yes, I have a Christmas color. This is very Christmas. Nins. So this is Christmas. Hi, Sienna. Um, thank you for joining us this evening. um, Sorry, I have a runny nose this evening. It's really cold. Is it cold in your area? It's really cold, isn't it? We are approaching winter, so it will be colder in the coming days. So I hope you have your jumper, your jackets, your coats, your gloves, okay, so to protect you from the cold weather. We have 20 million watchers now this evening. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. So tonight we will be discussing, as promised, our evidence-based practice. Yeah, I hope you like the setup, our lighting. Next week I will put a Christmas light to celebrate Christmas early. Okay. All right. Oh, so okay. All right. I'm trying to read the screen. Um. Yeah. Please do like the video and of course invite your friends. All right. We'll be discussing the marking criteria. Which version? So we will be discussing marking criteria version. The one on the screen. It's version 2.2. Okay. So this version was uploaded couple of weeks ago, October 2023. So you heard it first in our live stream that they have updated the marking criteria recently. Okay, so if you watch, you can still watch the old recordings of our live stream on my channel, so you can rewatch this again. Yeah. Um, if you watch the video, we did discuss that there is a marking criteria. So always remember that they do change the criteria frequently. So make sure before you go to your exam, make sure you know you studied the recent marking criteria, because again they can always change it and there's no announcement. Okay, there's no announcement sometimes. They only announce if there will be a major change, but they don't normally announce. It's your responsibility to check your test center's website. So you have Oxford, Northumbria, Northampton, Ulster. What else did I miss? So make sure to check their website. Yeah. Again, the marking criteria will be the same across test centers. Again, all the marking criteria will be the same across test centers. Some test centers they upload earlier compared to the rest of the test center. Okay, all right. So let me show it on the screen. So as promised, we will be discussing evidence-based practice. All right. So if you go to page 59, I have a notes what page to find it. So page 59, according to my um, notebook, page 59. Where is it? Okay. All right. So if you have this marking criteria, please turn your criteria to page 59. Yeah, that's correct. So I'll just give you some story about evidence-based practice. So evidence-based practice, it was added in the OSCE back in 2021. That's when they reintroduced or introduced new stations in the OSCE. So evidence-based practice, it's a writing station. Okay, it's a silent station. You don't need to perform a part, of course, obviously from writing. Okay, so you will just sit there and then think of your answers. Okay, based on a scenario and based, of course, on studies or research that will be given on the day on the scenario. Okay, so again, this is a 10-minute station. Okay, so as of press time, you will be given 10 minutes to complete the station. You have how many possible scenarios? If you can see it on your screen, how many? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You have 14 possible scenarios. Okay, you have 14 possible scenarios, and on the day of the exam, you will be given one scenario out of 14. Okay, it will be random. Okay, it will be random. So it's 10 minutes. It will be writing station. Um, so Emer, how do we prepare for evidence-based practice? Okay, how do we prepare? I know um most of you are complaining, it's a lot to remember. I know. Okay, I know. It's a lot to remember, it's a lot to memorize. But guys, to be honest, you don't have to memorize it. Okay, you don't have to memorize it. As long, because the answers will be written on the actual paper. Hi, Janice. Okay. You don't have to memorize. Of course, it's an advantage if your memory is good. Yeah, if you can memorize it, why not? Okay, if you can memorize it, why not? But the most important thing is you understand the message of each scenario or the contents of each scenario. That's the most important thing. Once you understand it, it will be easier for you to remember. Guys, do not remember this word per word. Okay, so you have to understand the content of each criteria, the content of each scenario, and then you will be able to answer the exam um, easier. Okay, so we will go to different scenarios and we will try and understand why these are the answers. Okay, it's the most important thing. And I'll give you some advice on how to remember it. Okay, So if you check on the comment section, there is a pinned comment there. That's our OSCE workbook. So there is a summary um, of um, of evidence based on our even professional values on the workbook. So we simplified it for you to remember it easier. Okay, so for those people who purchased the book, thank you. Okay, I hope you find it very useful. Okay, let's start. Which scenario do you want to discuss? Yeah, which scenario do you want to discuss? If you can type it on the chat box. But let me select one. Let's start with page 60. Page 60 talks about ankle sprain. Okay. Okay. I hope this is big enough. Yeah. Um, if you cannot, let's make it bigger. Yeah. I hope this is big enough. I hope you have a copy. Let me just wear my glasses so I can read it. All right. Okay. There you go. All right. All right. So the first criteria here, it's assessment criteria number one. It's to summarize the main findings of the article summary and draws conclusions, making recommendations clearly and legibly. Ah, no, I'm reading the wrong the wrong one. Summarizes the main findings from the article summary and draws conclusion, making recommendations for practice. Okay, so that's the first criteria. So I know. I mean, I did couple of lectures about this before. If you saw some of the videos on my channel, some of the videos are of course old. We did recommend before that you have to write at least two or three sentences about it and to make a summary. To be honest, you don't have to do it anymore. Okay, because as you can see on the screen, from criteria number 1B until 1F, those are the summary of the study. Okay, again, you don't have to write a summary because criteria 1B to 1F are the summary. Okay? They are from 1B to 1F, it's the summary, it's the recommendation, it's the conclusion. Okay? I hope we're following. So again, you don't have to write another summary on top of the criteria 1B to 1F. Okay, because it's basically the answers. So, so you only need to remember marking criteria 1B to 1F. Okay, so it says on the second criteria, so criteria 1A, of course, you have to write clearly and legibly, okay, on for this scenario, for this station. Of course, Emer, question. Do we have any people who failed the examination because of um what do you call this? Because of not writing clearly and legibly? Of course, there are actually people who failed the examination because according to the feedback, um what do you call this, the assessor wasn't able to read or understand um what do you call this, whatever the writing on the paper. Okay, so I saw I received some feedback from candidates that I failed because the assessor couldn't understand Um, my writing, can you imagine? Yeah, you don't want to fail because of that. You don't want to fail because of that, definitely. Um, so let's discuss this particular scenario. So again, it talks about ankle sprain. Ankle sprain. Okay. Have you ever experienced ankle sprain in your life? Yeah. Probably not for everybody, but definitely it's painful. Definitely, it's a sprain. And sorry, I have a runny nose really. And of course, it's not a pleasant experience definitely because it will be painful. So, Emer, what will happen on the actual examination? So on the examination, you will be given a scenario, and then after the scenario, you will be given study, a research, okay? And then based on the research, you have to number 1, give the summary of the research. Again, the summary is from 1B to 1F. Number 2, you have to draw your conclusion. Again, the conclusion will be written from one. I mean, it's you will see the conclusion written somewhere from 1B to 1F. And of course, recommendation. Normally, the last or the final criteria, it's the it's the recommendation. Okay, so we will dissect. Okay, we will dissect this particular scenario. All right. So Emmer, you mean to say that the first answer that I have to write is 1B, I will inform she that both paracetamol and ibuprofen are equally effective analgesia. Do you agree with this? Again, this is based from a study, from a research. Okay, so as your um as your recommendation, you will inform she that both paracetamol and ibuprofen are equally effective analgesics. So let me ask you guys, yeah, what's the indication for paracetamol? Okay, what's the category of paracetamol? If you can type it on the chat box. Okay, what does this drug fall under? Do we know? Hi, Joey from Plymouth. Okay, do we know what's the drug classification or the indication of for paracetamol? I know it's a simple question, but let's see if we know the answer. And ibuprofen. Okay, so what's the drug classification of ibuprofen? If you can help me. Thanks, Van. It's an analgesia. How about ibuprofen? What's the specific um, drug classification of ibuprofen? Let's see. Let's see if your brain cells are still working after a long day's work. Probably you're tired, but let's see. Let's use the remaining energy that we have. Sorry, I have a runny nose. Um, Analgesia. Oh, is it Ate Dayan? Ayan. Ay, ate. Thank you for watching. So, definitely, you're correct. So, paracetamol is a non-opioid analgesia. Okay, so it's also known as your acetaminophen. Um, Thanks, Van. So, ibuprofen, it's your NSAID or the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. Well done. Hi, Jeffrey. Guys, can you help me? Apart from ibuprofen, what other drugs you can think of that falls under the category of NSAID? Okay, can you help me? Can you please give me more medications or couple of drugs that falls under the category of NSAID? So the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medication. Oh, I can see your chat now. There you go. Anti-inflammatory. Well done. Yeah. Can you give me example other medications that fall under the NSAID? Can you think of drugs apart from ibuprofen? Let's see if you still know your drugs. Well done, Van. Thank you. Naproxen, of course. Naproxen. I hope you're familiar with naproxen. Thank you, Van. That's very good. Anything else? Any other drug? Namrata. Well done. I hope I'm saying your name properly. Namrata. Aspirin. Well done. Of course. Aspirin is also an NSAID. But always remember that according to what do you call this? According to the NHS website, low dose aspirin is not normally considered as um what do you call this? What's the word? So low dose aspirin is not normally considered to be NSAID. But of course aspirin is NSAID. Well done. Jeffrey, he said diclofenac. Well done. Anything else? Any other medication that falls under the category of NSAID? Well done. So we have aspirin, diclofenac, naproxen. What else? We also have naproxen, of course. Well done. How about your mefenamic acid? Yeah. What else? So those are the common NSAID, um, the drugs, yeah, under this category. So well, that is very well done. Okay, and of course, again, going back to the other question, paracetamol, celecoxib. Well done, Diane. Of course, paracetamol is the non-opioid analgesia, or we also use paracetamol as an antipyretic. So well done. So we'll discuss more about these drugs when we move to um, another scenario. Okay, my mind is now lagging. Um, well done, well done. Thank you, Sienna. I'm looking for this one, indomethacin. So well done. That's very good. All right. So I hope that is useful. Yeah. So to recap, all the NSAIDs that we have that we know according to your answers. So we have aspirin, naproxen, diclofenac, celecoxib, indomethacin. What else did we miss? Based on your comments. What else? There you go. I think those are the things that you've mentioned. Um, hi RR. So there you go. All right. So on this scenario for ankle sprain, we are comparing ibuprofen, and of course we are also comparing paracetamol. And who will be the subject on this scenario? Who do we think is the subject? Who are you talking to? Okay, who are you giving advice to on this scenario? Let's see if you know, because we can actually predict, or we can actually yeah, we can predict the scenario, okay, based on the marking criteria. So who are you talking to in this situation or in this scenario? From London. Hi RR from London. Who is your, yeah, who are you talking to? Who are you giving advice to based on the criteria? Who's your patient here? Let's see. Yeah, who is it? Who is it, Van? The patient, according to Van, the patient, of course. Who's the patient? It's the patient is, what's the name? So the patient is called she. Well done. Thanks, Joey. Just on time. Okay. All right. So the patient's name on this scenario is she, or yeah, I think I hope I'm saying it properly. Yeah, she. There you go. Or C. Okay. Um. So you are talking to the patient. Okay. So let me ask you guys. Okay. Because again, we're trying to analyze the scenario. Yeah. Shili. There you go. Well done. All right. So because we're trying to analyze the scenario, how did you know that you are talking to the patient, not a colleague? Okay. How did you know that you are talking to the patient and not the hi Beverly? Um, how did you know which criteria, which number actually indicates that you are talking to a patient, not a colleague? Okay. Let's see if you're really um if you analyze this criteria, okay, which criteria made you realize that you are talking to a patient and not a colleague? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Um if you've already processed this scenario. Okay, so which criteria made us think or made us realize that you're actually talking to the patient and not a colleague? If you can give me um, the number of the criteria. Okay, let's see. Because again, the criteria will tell us um, the answers. Okay, it will give us an idea what's the scenario like on the day of the exam. Okay, let's see. If your eyes are very good, there are couple, but there is a certain number here that actually points out that you're talking to the patient. Well done, Jemima. Okay. Jemima said the last one. Well done. Okay, that's the correct answer. Okay. 1F. Well done. So well done. If you there you go. Okay, all right. Well done. 1F. Okay. So criteria 1F tells us or give us a clue that you're actually talking to the patient. Let's read 1F, okay? It says here, recognizes that she is asthmatic and advises that paracetamol would be more suitable, okay? All right, let's read this, go to the marking criteria now, okay? So that is one of the exercise that you have to do, okay? So again, if you haven't read the marking criteria, um, if you haven't read the marking criteria fully, we need to start reading between the lines. Okay, you have to start reading between the lines and analyzing it. So at least you will remember it on the day. So the first answer again. So when you're answering your evidence based practice, you don't need to memorize the each criteria word per word. Again, you can same when you attended our session last week. It's the same. You just need to paraphrase it, use your own words. Um, when you're studying, just think of the keywords, okay? When you are studying, just think of the keyword, okay? So today, what we'll do tonight, this evening rather, we will try and select the keywords, okay? So 1B, informs that both paracetamol and ibuprofen are equally effective analgesics. So for 1B, the most important words or items here, it's the comparison between paracetamol and ibuprofen, that both medications are effective analgesic. Okay, so for 1B, the main point of 1B is it's just telling us that paracetamol and ibuprofen are equally effective, okay, analgesic. Okay, so that's your 1B. So for 1C, explains to she that some clinicians prefer to prescribe ibuprofen, but there is no clear evidence that that it is superior. So for 1C, it tells us that you're talking to she, but 1C doesn't, doesn't clearly tell us what she's role in there, because she could be a colleague or she could be a patient, isn't it? For 1C, you're basically explaining to she that some clinician prefer ibuprofen, but there is no clear evidence that it is superior. Okay, so for 1C, some clinician prefer ibuprofen, but again, there is no clear evidence that it is superior to compared to paracetamol. Next is 1D. You have to advise that the current available research suggests that paracetamol is an effective analgesia for pain resulting from soft tissue injury. Okay, so based on 1D, is ankle sprain a soft tissue injury? What do we think? Okay, based on 1D, we have to advise that the current available research suggests that paracetamol is an effective analgesia for pain resulting from soft tissue injury. Is an ankle sprain a soft tissue injury? What do we think? Is it a yes or a no? Thank you for the 24 million people watching us this evening. Again, if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe and please click the notification bell so you'll get notified whenever we go live. Okay, and of course, please do follow me on my across social media accounts. Go to my TikTok, there will be a video there. There is an announcement. Okay, if you watch the video, let me know on the comment. Yeah, go to my TikTok and then there's a video there. So, is it a yes or a no? What's my question again? Is an ankle sprain a soft tissue injury or not? Yes or no? I'll wait for your answers. Yes. Yes, of course, sorry. Um, so according to Van and Ding, yes, definitely. Okay, so are we recommending paracetamol for patient she or C? Definitely yes. So for 1E, explains to she that although ibuprofen is safe, it can have more adverse effects and can be contraindicated in patients who have bronchospasm, cardiac, and renal failure. Okay, so based on 1E, it tells us that it has more adverse effect and contraindicated in patients who have bronchospasm, cardiac, and renal failure. Okay, so that's based on the study. Okay, that's based on the study. So that means 1F, we have to recognize that she is asthmatic and we have to advise that paracetamol would be more suitable. Okay, so let's summarize this scenario. Okay, so let's summarize what we know for ankle sprain. So what to expect on the day. So you will be given a scenario. Probably, again, whatever I'm saying is not the actual examination. Okay, we are just doing an educated guess. Okay, we are just doing our when I'm just saying my wild guess. Okay, how the examination, how the scenario would be like on the day. So we know that there will be a scenario. Probably on this scenario, the patient or the person is called she, and she suffered from an ankle sprain, probably as a result of an accident or injury. So she probably hurt herself, which resulted to an ankle sprain. Now, Probably during your conversation, she is asking you what will be the appropriate medication for ankle sprain. So you will be giving your recommendation, your conclusion based on the study. So during the examination, apart from the scenario, you will see some study. Okay, so you will see the study, and it will be in bullet points. Okay, it will be in bullet points. It's not like a very long study you have to read. Okay, the study, I mean, it will not be that long. Okay, it will be just short. Okay, so Emmer, you said I don't need to memorize it. No need to memorize it because on the examination, how it would look like, let's say 1B, as an example, there will be a study that will support answer 1B. Okay, so 1B is the summary. Okay, 1B is the gist of that study. Okay, so for 1B, there will be like a study stating where 1B, which study supports 1B. Okay, so on the examination, you only need just to rephrase it actually. Okay, that's why you don't have to memorize it. As long as you understand this scenario, you should be fine. Okay, just remember the keywords. So again, to summarize this, so she's our patient. I think it's a she or a he on the examination. This will be our he will be she is our patient, and then she suffered from ankle sprain. Now you are comparing your paracetamol and ibuprofen, which one is more effective? And based on she's circumstances, we know that number one, she's suffering from asthma. Okay, she's suffering from asthma. That is why, and we know based on the study that ibuprofen is contraindicated to patients who have bronchospasm, okay, and patient with cardiac and renal failure. So if you think about bronchospasm, if the patient has asthma, do you think this will be contraindicated? Definitely. So, as a recommendation, you will be recommending paracetamol as the best option for she because again, ibuprofen is contraindicated for people with bronchospasm, probably patients who are suffering or people who are suffering from asthma as an example. Okay, I hope I made it clear. Yeah, I hope I know. I mean, to be honest, you just have to remember this and memorize this. You'll be fine. But thank you for joining our session. Yeah, I hope I made it clear. Yeah, I hope you learned something from our discussion about this scenario. So again, on the day of the examination, you will be able to remember the answers. Okay, that's how we. So moving forward, if you analyze all the scenarios, this is how you analyze it. You have to read between the lines, and you have to select the keywords from each criteria. Again, you don't need to write a summary because criteria 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E, 1F are the summary. It's the recommendation, it's the conclusion. Okay? I hope you learned something from our um, conversation with regards to the ankle sprain. Okay? So, let me ask you guys. So, let me know on the comment section. Any questions? Or let me know in the comment section what scenario do you want to discuss next. Yeah. So whilst waiting for your answers and your questions, I do recommend let's go to the next topic, which is fever in children. Is it fever in children? Fever for children. Fever in children. Because there will be a link from this to that. Okay. We will compare this and that scenario. Fever in children, I think it's page. Yeah, please put in the comment section if you learned something, if you enjoyed our conversation about this scenario. Um, if you learned something, please put on the comment section. If not, if it's not clear, then say it as well. Okay. If you need more clarification, of course, put in the comment section. I hope you are enjoying our I hope you are enjoying our session, yeah? I hope you are enjoying our weekly live stream. Okay. Weekly live stream. I'm just looking for the marking criteria. Okay. So, so again, guys, of course I'm promoting our workbook. If you click the link on I mean the pinned comment, you will see our workbook. um we made a summary of this on the workbook. All right, let me find the fever in children. I think I'm going there. I'm nearly there. Yeah, fever in children. There you go. All right, fever in children. Okay, fever in children. So similar with the first scenario that we discussed. Thank you for the 30 million people watching this evening. So fever in children. So first criteria is summarizes the main findings of the article, summary, and draws conclusion, making recommendations for practice. What page is this? Is this page? So if you have a copy of the criteria, please turn it to page 68. Okay, on page 68. Thank you for the 30 million people. And of course, we will nearly what you call this? Sorry, my I'm stuttering now. So we are nearly um 20,000 we were nearly reach to 20,000 subscribers. So please do subscribe on my channel. Of course, do follow me in my social media accounts. All right, next, fever in children. Same, the first criteria, it's similar across all scenarios. If you haven't noticed it yet. Number 1A, writes clearly and legibly. Of course, I did mention this. You might fail because if the assessor couldn't understand whatever you said on on the scenario, I mean on your answer rather, you might fail. Okay, so make sure, guys. Yeah, trust me, my handwriting is really bad. Okay, my handwriting is really bad because I think faster compared to my writing. So my handwriting cannot. I mean, my writing cannot keep up with whatever whenever I'm thinking. So I mean, to be honest, let me show you. I have a notebook here. I don't know if you can see it. See, look, this is my handwriting. You cannot read it because I listed the pages of the things that I'm going to discuss. Yeah, this is my notebook. My handwriting is really bad. So please, guys, make sure on the day of the exam you improve your handwriting. Yeah, it's really important. Um, so I made sure when I did my examination a couple of years ago, I made sure that my handwriting is clear and legible. All right. So 1B. So this is where the answer begins or starts. 1B explains to Selai that the fever is an important immune mechanism in fighting the underlying infection and that it's recommended to treat a fever only if it's causing the child distress. Okay, let me ask you guys, please do help me. So we know that Selai, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, Selai is one of the characters on this scenario. Who do we think Selai is in this scenario? Is Selai the patient, a colleague, a next of kin? What do we think? Okay, so help me. Let's try and read between the lines and decipher the code of this criteria, this scenario. Who do we think Selai is in this scenario? What's his role? Is he a colleague, the patient, or the next of kin? Okay, help me. So, if you have a copy of the marking criteria, for those people who's watching this video in the future, pause this video, and try to answer my question. Okay. So, who do we think Selai is in this scenario? Is Selai the patient, the next of kin, or a colleague? Van said the mother or the next of kin. Do we agree with Van? And of course, as a follow-up question, which part of the criteria made us think or made us realize, I mean, will give us the clue that Salai is the mother, question mark, according to Van. If she is the mother, of he is a, I don't know if Salai is a female name or is a male name. Next of kin. Most of you are thinking next of kin. Do we agree with everybody? So a next of kin, not a colleague, yeah, not a colleague. Next of kin. Okay, let's find out together. Okay, let's find out together. Um, so again, for this scenario, you will be given a story, a scenario, and then it will be supported with a research or study. Okay, the first answer, we have to again explain to Salai that fever is an important immune mechanism. So you have to select an important immune mechanism as one of your keywords, yeah, in fighting underlying infection, and that it's recommended to treat a fever only if it's causing the child distress. So for the first one, you are talking to Salai, yeah? We are telling Salai that it's an important immune mechanism and we only treat fever if it causes distress, yeah? So that's the thought. That's the main point of criteria 1B, okay? 1C considers that both paracetamol or ibuprofen can safely be used to treat the fever. So, Emmer, what made you select this scenario as our second one? Because we talk about ibuprofen and paracetamol once again, okay? Because we talk about paracetamol and ibuprofen once again. That's why I selected this one. So, um, ankle sprain, it highlights the comparison between ibuprofen and paracetamol. Fever in children, it's another conversation between paracetamol and ibuprofen. Okay, so at least that will help when you are trying to study these scenarios. Okay, so fever in children, it has some link or relationship in terms of the story for during this particular scenario, station rather. So, considers that both paracetamol or ibuprofen can safely be used to treat fever. We learned earlier that paracetamol is a non-opioid analgesia or analgesic or is also an antipyretic as its drug classification. Ibuprofen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory um, drug. Okay, so next, 1D informs Salai that it is recommended that ibuprofen is taken with food to reduce potential gastric side effect, and they should encourage the child to eat something when taking ibuprofen. However, explains that ibuprofen is safe to administer with or without food in the short term up to 7 days. So I can see your answers on the comments. So you are telling me that the criteria that will tell us that Sella is probably a next of kin is 1D. So that's a good guess. Well done. So probably on this scenario, Selai is I think you suggested that she's the mother, okay? So she could be the father as well, okay? She could be the next of I don't know if it's a she or a he, but Selai definitely is probably a next of kin in this scenario. Yeah, you are talking to a next of kin. Probably on this scenario, this particular next of kin, Selai, he could probably the mother, or she could probably be the mother. She's asking you an advice, okay? How to treat fever, possibly for her or for his child. Okay, so that's the story probably. But if you think about it, it's not very clear that actually Sela is the mom or the dad. Selai could be a colleague as well. Okay, Selai could potentially be a colleague as well, because of course, I mean, based on 1D, informs Selai that it's recommended that ibuprofen is taken to reduce potential gastric side effect, and did they encourage the child to eat something. So again, Sele could be a colleague as well. Yeah, it could be another potential story. So, but we know that definitely Sele is not the patient. Yeah, Sele is probably the next of kin. Okay, most likely a next of kin in this scenario. So going back to 1D, so 1D is basically telling us that when taking ibuprofen, it should be taken with food because we know that it could cause um gastric side effects, yeah, tummy aches, etc. And of course, worse is it could cause ulcer, definitely. So, um, gastric ulcer. So, we have, so it says here, they, Selai, should encourage the child to eat something before when taking ibuprofen. We know that. Yeah, we learned that from school definitely. When you're taking your NSAIDs, you have to take it um with meals, okay? Or with yeah, with meals definitely to reduce side effects. However, there is an however here. However, explain that ibuprofen is safe to administer with or without food in the short term, only up to 7 days. Again, so the highlight for 1 day is it's safe to take up to 7 days only. Okay, so beyond that, make sure that it should be taken with food or with meals because it will cause gastric side effect. I hope that is clear. Yeah, I hope that is clear for 1D. For 1E, we have to consider whether the child has asthma, as both ibuprofen and paracetamol can exacerbate respiratory symptoms. Okay, if you recall, okay, let's see if you still remember what we discussed earlier. Based on the previous scenario that we talked about, based on ankle sprain, ibuprofen is contraindicated with three. There are three reasons that you should not be giving ibuprofen. Okay? Based on the previous scenario, I don't know if you still remember it. What are those three contraindications for ibuprofen? It is contraindicated for, let's see if you still remember it. Okay. If you can type it on the chat box. In here, in fever in children, it's just telling us that if the child has asthma, consider whether the child has asthma because both ibuprofen and paracetamol exacerbate respiratory symptoms. If we remember, based on the previous scenario, ibuprofen is contraindicated to I mean, has oh yeah, contraindication, three reasons why you should not be giving um well done. Okay. Ibuprofen. Well done. I can see your answers. Thank you. So Van said cardiac, renal, and bronchospasm. Well done. There you go. You are now learning. Well done. You have sharp memory. Of course, Sienna also said bronchospasm, cardiac, and renal failure. So based on the previous scenario that we discussed, based on ankle sprain, ibuprofen is contraindicated for people with bronchospasm, cardiac, and renal. On this particular scenario for fever in children, paracetamol and ibuprofen are contraindicated for people with asthma. Okay? So you have to consider that whether the child has asthma. Well done. And 1F, thank you, Beverly, well done, explains that healthcare professionals may perceive that ibuprofen has more adverse effect than paracetamol, but there is not, but there explains, sorry, I'm reading it wrongly, explains that healthcare professionals may perceive that ibuprofen has more adverse effects than paracetamol, but that there is not the evidence. There is no evidence. See, there is a typo on the marking criteria, but there is no evidence to support this. Again, so as your recommendation, you might be telling Selai that most, I mean, most healthcare professionals perceive that ibuprofen has more side effect, but according to this particular scenario, there is no evidence to support that. Okay, so that's why I chose ankle sprain and fever in children because they have some similarities and of course difference. So I hope you enjoy that for our fever in children. So to summarize, fever in children. Okay, so the answers that the assessors want to see from you during the day of the examination is 1B to 1F only. Emer, just to recap, it says here to summarize the main findings. The summary that it's referring to, the marking criteria is referring to, is 1B to 1F. Okay, that is the summary it's referring to. Where's the conclusion? It's the 1B to 1F as well. What's the recommendation? 1B to 1F as well. Okay. The answers will be um, from 1B to 1F. Okay. So you are talking to Selai, which could be, I mean, potentially or most likely is the next of kin in this particular scenario. Okay. You are educating Selai um, about of course treating fever only if it causes distress. You will also be discussing paracetamol and ibuprofen, the side effect, whether to take meals or without meals, the importance of taking meals or without meals, whatever, when you're taking what do you call this, ibuprofen, and of course contraindication, patient with asthma. Okay, so that's your story. Okay, that's how the story would turn out on the day of the examination. Of course, it also as 1F, again, it tells us that a healthcare professional might perceive paracetamol to have more adverse effect. But again, there's no evidence. According to the study, I mean, it's not from me. According to the study, there is no evidence to support this. Okay, so that's based on the study. All right. Okay. So, do you have any question? I hope you're enjoying our session. Is there any particular scenario that you want to talk about? Okay, let me see. Okay. All right. Let's do, what do you want to do? Let's do cranberry and UTI. Okay, cranberry and UTI. Again, thank you for the 30 million people who's watching us this evening. Thank you for spending your evening with me. Um, Let me know in the comment what did you eat for dinner? What's your what did you eat for dinner? I haven't had dinner yet. I want to order fish and chips. Um, okay. All right. Before we proceed, of course, I need to advertise a couple of stuff. So please do follow me on my social media. If you haven't watched my recent TikTok video, watch it. Go to my TikTok account and please do follow me. And of course, like my video, you will see a video there. There will be an announcement. Let me know in the comment section once you've seen it. What else? Of course, I'm running next year on the London Marathon. Um, I'm going to support Victa. This is the charity I'm going to support. If you can, please donate. The link is there on the comment section or yeah, on the chat box somewhere. If you can, please donate. I will be supporting Victa. So all the proceeds of the marathon will go there. Okay, so they will be supporting children and kids um, who are blind. Okay. All right. All right. And of course our workbook, yeah. Don't forget about it. All right. So cranberry and UTI. Okay. So we now know cri- marking criteria number 1 in 1A. Okay. I don't need to repeat it again. So 1B, we have to explain to Frida that there is some research that shows that cranberry juice may prevent UTI occurring in healthy individuals if drunk regularly. Oh, sinigang. I love your dinner, Jemima. Okay? I also love sinigang. Thank you for sharing your dinner. um through the comment section, yeah. I also love sinigang. For those people watching us not non-Filipino, sinigang is my it's what's the English term for sinigang? Um it's sour. It's a comfort food during a rainy day or during a cold winter. During a cold day. During winter, there you go. Sinigang. So, going back, sorry, I'm distracted. Going back to our conversation. So let me ask you again, guys. Let's try and analyze the scenario. There is a name mentioned here. The name is Frida. Who do you think Frida? What's her role in this scenario? Okay. Who do you think Frida in this scenario? So explains to Frida that there is some research that shows that cranberry juice may prevent UTI occurring in healthy individuals if drunk regularly. Tamarind stew. Thank you, Debbie. Okay. Debbie. Um, Ate Diana, there you go. So, who do we think Frida in this scenario? Okay. So, while you're analyzing who Frida is in this scenario, let me just answer a couple of questions. So, Jeffrey's asking, I just want to ask if it's okay that my answers will not be in order. That's fine. That's fine, Jeffrey. Yeah, that's fine. As long as all the information will be there. But again, similar to my if you attended my class last week, we discussed about the evidence-based practice. Again, of course, try to make the arrangement of your answers, of course, in order, because I mean, if you think about it, you don't make the recommendation first. Okay, so you have to explain the reasons first, I mean the studies first, before you do the recommendation at the bottom. I don't know if you actually, I don't know if you realize this. Normally, the last section of the marking criteria, 1F, is the recommendation. Okay? So 1F is the recommendation. It's your recommendation to the person you're talking to. Okay? So Debbie said patient. But again, of course, going back to Jeffrey's answer, of course, if it's in honor, that's fine as long as all the information will be there. But to be honest, like what I mentioned earlier, the study on the examination is in bullet points, and normally it's arranged similar to the marking criteria. There you go. That's the secret. Yeah. On the examination, it will be in bullet points, or it will be in paragraph. Not paragraph because it's not really long, and it corresponds to the marking criteria. The arrangement of the study on the examination is similar to the arrangement of the marking criteria. There you go. Okay, so that's our little secret. Okay, for those people who watch this video, that's our little secret. Okay, so all right, so do we agree with Diane that this is, or Debbie, that this is that Frida is the patient? Okay, let's try and continue reading the answers. Okay, so explain to Frida that there is some research that shows that cranberry juice may prevent a UTI occurring in healthy individuals if drunk regularly. Okay, let me ask you guys. Of course, we know UTI. Which gender or which sex is this common? Female or men? Female or male? Male. UTI occurs to whom more frequent? Okay. Van said patient or colleague, Frida. So let's find out. Okay, let's find out. But let me ask you guys, UTI occurs to whom more frequently, or I mean, not. I'm not sure if the word is regularly, but yeah, more common rather. Okay, is it men or women? What do we think? Van said female. Well done. Definitely. Because of course we learn from school. We learn from school. What did we learn from school? We learn from school, of course. The urethra for female, your urethra is shorter compared to men. Of course, definitely genitalia, yeah. So of course, the urethra of men are longer compared to women, which of course one of the reasons why female are more, I mean, experiences UTI. It's more common to women, in short, yeah, compared to men. I've never experienced UTI in my life, so there you go. I know, of course, my I know, I mean, friends, I know that they experience UTI, of course, commonly. All right, my next question. Well done. Thank you, Van. Thank you, Van. All right, my next question is, I don't know. Have you just think about, yeah, think about it. Have you ever do you agree with this study? For the women who's watching us this evening, do you agree with this study? Do you normally drink cranberry to prevent UTI? I don't know. Back home, yeah, when your mom tells you, yeah, I have a UTI, what do they normally suggest? Um, does your mom tells you that drink cranberry? Okay, what do they suggest back home? I know in the Philippines, for my Filipinos watching us this evening, we know that we don't have cranberry back home. Yeah, cranberry is not a common thing. Yeah, is it a common thing back home? What an alternative? What do you think um is an alternative for cranberry? What does your mom tells you to drink to prevent UTI? Coconut. There you go, I know coconut. Yeah, coconut is definitely what's the word? Coconut is definitely. We have loads of coconuts back home in the Philippines. So I know that probably your parents will tell you just drink coconut, not cranberry. We don't normally have cranberry in the Philippines. Okay, so I don't know in other countries. What does your mom tells you to drink? Okay, so here again, going back to the scenario, it's basically telling us that cranberry is an effective, or is an option to prevent UTI. Okay, let me ask you guys, yeah? This is an important question, all right? It's not on this study, it's not on the study, yeah? But what do you think is the drug of choice when treating UTI? What is the drug of choice to treat UTI? Okay, let's see if you know this medication. What medication is the drug of choice? What is the drug of choice when treating UTI? Let's see. Let's see. Definitely water. Definitely. Your mother will tell you drink plenty of water. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, let me ask you this question: what is the drug of choice for UTI? Let's see if you know, if your mind is still working this Thursday evening. What is the drug of choice for UTI? Type your answer on the comment section. You'll never know. You might see this drug in your implementation station. Okay, let's see who can answer the question. Okay, let's see who can answer the question. What is the drug of choice for UTI? Of I sorry, I had to laugh on your answer, Jimmy. Of course, an antibiotic. But what is the specific antibiotic? Do we Van said it's not nitrofurantoin. So do we agree with Van? Thank you for your answer, yeah. Thank you for answering my questions. Do we agree with Van? She said nitrofurantoin. Ding Ding said, Ding Ding Lala. I love your name. What's your real name, Ding Ding? Um, so nitrofurantoin. Well done. Well done. Beverly said nitrofurantoin. Okay. So remember this medication. Yeah, remember this medication. So nitrofurantoin is the drug of choice for UTI. Well done. Okay. So to verify that, please, of course, once not yet, not now, yeah, but later today or tomorrow in the coming days, once you saw this video, of course, Once you saw this video, of course, definitely verify. Go to your what they call this, your um BNF, definitely, and then check, yeah. Night Nitripurto is the drug of choice for UTI. So well done. For all those people who answered correctly, well done. Thank you for your answers. All right. So that's it. Let's move on. So for 1C, it says here, considers that cranberry juice may less likely to induce nausea than other sugary drinks when taken regularly. Okay, so it's comparing cranberry juice and other sugary drinks. So it may induce nausea. Cranberry juice may less likely induce nausea compared to other sugary drinks. Okay, when taken regularly. 1D informs Frida that there is no evidence available that cranberry juice may prevent UTIs in individuals who have high risk conditions or those with indwelling catheters, as people in these groups were not included in the study. So 1D tells us the limitation of the study, okay? The scope and the limitation of the study. Remember the scope and the limitation of study? Probably, of course, most of us probably experienced doing research when when we're doing, back in university, remember? When you're creating your research paper, remember there's like a scope and limitation of the study, isn't it? So 1F is the scope and limitation of, the limitation of study in particular. So informs free that there is no evidence available that cranberry juice may prevent UTI in individuals, high Wellen, there you go, who have high risk conditions or those with indwelling catheters, as people in this group were not included in the study. Okay, so that's the population of the study. So when it was when the study was created, they excluded people who are high risk, yeah, people with catheter, and yeah, those people were not included in the study. So probably they only tested it to healthy individuals. Okay. Um. So my question. Oh no, I'll save it for last. Next, explains to Frida that there is no evidence available to suggest that cranberry juice can be used to treat UTI in place of antibiotics. Okay, so of course there is no evidence according to this study that that cranberry should be used to treat UTI in place of antibiotic. Of course, we know that antibiotic is still the option to treat UTI, not the cranberry juice. Okay, so that is your advice. That is one of your recommendation. Okay, um, to Frida. And last but not the least, you have to inform Frida that it is necessary to note that the research was funded by a leading cranberry juice manufacturer, indicating a potential conflict of interest. Okay, so we are aware of the term conflict of interest because, of course, if the leading brand conducts that, if the leading brand, if it's a brand of a cranberry juice, yeah, did the study, definitely there will be a conflict of interest. Yeah, of course there will be a bias. Of course, to say, if let's say I own Adidas, this is not sponsored. Yeah, of course I will be promoting my brand. Yeah, I will create a research, or I will fund a research with which promotes Adidas as a brand. Okay, of course I will not create a research wherein it will lessen my sales. Of course, there it goes. So 1F is suggesting us that they may be a conflict of interest based on the scenario. Okay? So, do we know who's Frida? What is Frida's role in this scenario? Is she the patient? Is she a next of kin? Is she a colleague? What do we think? What do we think Frida's role in this scenario? Is she the patient, a colleague, a next of kin? What do we think? So, for this, it's not actually clear who Frida is in this scenario. Yeah. So Frida, I think Van mentioned this earlier. Frida could be the patient, definitely, or Frida could be a colleague, and then you're just giving an advice. Yeah. So it's either. Probably, most likely, a higher chance that Frida is your patient. Okay, you're giving an advice or a recommendation to the patient. Yep. So you're probably giving an advice to a person in this scenario. And Frida could be your colleague, or Frida could be the patient in this story. Okay. So that's Frida's role in this story. Okay. To summarize this, yeah. For this particular scenario, for cranberry juice criteria, you are talking to Frida. Again, we don't know yet if Frida is your patient or your colleague, but you're talking about UTI and cranberry. Okay. To summarize this, it tells us for 1B that if you drink cranberry juice regularly, it may prevent UTI. Again, for healthy individuals only. Because remember, it was mentioned later on this research, or in this study, on this scenario, that there is a limitation of the research. Next is 1C. We have to consider that, of course, that cranberry juice may be less likely to induce nausea compared to other sugary drinks. 1C, of course, it's only tested, um, like what I've mentioned, to healthy individuals. So people who are high risk, who have high risk conditions. Example, like people with indwelling catheter were not part of the study. 1E, of course, definitely antibiotic still our option to treat UTI, and not definitely cranberry. There is no available evidence for that. Okay, so it's still antibiotic, the best option. And last but not the least, the conflict. Sorry, the conflict of interest. Yeah, that's your 1F. Okay, that's your 1F. Let me ask you guys. Okay, why do I mean cranberry juice and UTI? Why do you think is special in cranberry? What do you think is the ingredient, or what do you think is the content of cranberry wherein it could treat UTI, or it could prevent UTI? Okay? What Let me ask you, what do you think made cranberry special? How does it prevent UTI? Or okay, let's see. If you know by any chance, can you please put it in the comment section? For those people who's watching this in the future, of course, pause the video and then try to look for the answer. And then, of course, put in the comment section if you can. Okay? What do you think is the content, or what made cranberry juice special that it prevents UTI if drunk regularly? Let's see. If you have your phone now, of course, do your little Googling if you can. Debbie said it's alkaline. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if you can answer me. What do you think made cranberry juice special? Okay. Special, if that's the term, yeah? If that's a term. What made it affects the pH, I think. Thank you, Debbie, for your answer. But yeah, what's special with cranberry juice? Actually, there's a hint in one of the there is a hint, and in one of the one of the answers. Hi, Yana. Thank you for sharing this. So Yana said, thank you for all your video. It really helpful. I passed my OSCE last November 3. Wow, well done. Congratulations, Yana. Thank you for sharing that. You know what? Every time I do live, there is like one or two people who's sharing that they passed the examination. So thank you for letting us know. Of course, congratulations. Make sure you celebrate. Yeah, enjoy the moment. So when you pass the OSCE, guys, it's just the start of the journey. Okay, it's just the start of a bigger journey for everybody. So congratulations. I wish you all the best. Hopefully I will get the chance to see Yan, and of course all of you is watching us tonight. Yeah. Oh, I have to advertise, of course. Do I have to advertise it? Alkaline. I hope you go to Manong George's event. Yeah. Where is it? I think December. I forgot. Let me check Manong's message. Yeah, please do, of course, attend Manong's Filipino nurses Is it Philippine Nurses UK's event? Let me just check my phone. Where is it? Casa and Ken. There you go. You will see Nurse Even, of course. There. I think the tickets are now sold out. But yeah, if you're there, say hello. I will be there as well. Okay. So if you're there, say hello when you see me. Okay. All right. Um, Acid. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the answer. I cannot see the answer. What made what made cranberry juice special? Anti-inflammatory effect. Joey said. Thank you. Shall we do it as an assignment? Okay. All right. Shall we do this assignment? Um. All right. Final answer. No one can answer it. All right. So, if you do your simple googling, it says there that cranberry juice it contains pro a sugar called cyanidins. Okay, so I hope I'm saying it properly. Okay, so it's a sugar that prevents the growth of bacteria, specifically E. coli. Okay, so remember we learned, isn't it, that sugar inhibits growth of bacteria. That's why remember when you have your cake, remember cake lasts for very long. Honey, as an example, it doesn't expire, isn't it? I don't know if you've seen this video when they uncovered King Tut's mummy. They saw like a jar of honey, and the honey is still edible because of its high sugar content. So if you put a bacteria inside the honey, it will swell. Okay, it will swell. So that means it will not be able to survive the environment. So there you go. I can see Sienna's answer. So cranberry juice, it contains sugar called proanthocyanidins, and it inhibits the growth of bacteria, E. coli in particular. There you go. I hope you learned something this evening. Yeah, I hope you learned something this evening. Because of its content, because of the sugar, bacteria doesn't grow. Okay, doesn't thrive and doesn't survive. Okay, so the bacteria. I mean, again, going back to the honey, if you put a bacteria inside the honey, it will swell. Okay, because of the environment. So that's why honey, it doesn't expire, okay, because of the sugar content. It has very minimal water compared to um, water to sugar ratio, definitely. There you go, that's it. But of course, be mindful, yeah, of botulism when you're taking honey. Yeah, that's the thing that you have to remember with when you're eating honey, botulism. There you go. All right. I hope that information is useful. So now we know, yeah, cranberry is sweet, sugar, cyanidins. It inhibits the growth of E. coli. There you go. Right. So hopefully that is useful. So tomorrow when you go to work, now I know. You tell your colleagues, yeah, please drink cranberry juice because it contains proanthocyanidins and it inhibits or it prevents UTI. There you go. You tell your colleagues tomorrow when you go to work, yeah, so it's a way of you remembering it for the examination. Yeah, I hope that information is useful, and you will for I hope hopefully for those people who's watching us this evening, you will forever remember that. Okay, any other information we learned for this scenario? Remember, we learned that nitrofurantoin is your one of your drug of choice to treat TTI, yeah, and yeah, there you go. All right. So, I forgot what I'm saying. So yeah, again, so if you're please do attend Manong George's event. Yeah, you will see Nurse Even, of course, our idol, isn't it? He's very famous. Um, and of course, if you see me there, say hello. Yeah, I will be there as well. Okay. Next. Okay, next. I hope you enjoyed our session for our Um, our session for the OSCE. What else? All right. What else? To end our session, what probably our last scenario, okay? What scenario do you want to discuss? Let's see. Let's scroll this. Anything interesting? Everything is interesting, but let me know, yeah, put it in the comment section which scenario do you want to discuss. Diabetes. Do you want diabetes? It's really long, isn't it? Do you want MI? What do you want? Fever in children, we've done that. Pressure ulcer, do you want this? Restraint, do you want this? Hmm, let's see. Let me know in the comment section which scenario do you want to discuss before we say goodnight. Use of funny dressing. Um, let's see. Let's select one. Let's see. Let's select. How about? Okay. How about? How about? See, I'm still deciding. Help me, guys. Yeah, put it in the comment section. Okay. Shall we do this? Pressure ulcer prevention marking criteria. Okay. Talks about pressure ulcer. Um, and of course, before I forget, I want to promote, of course, I want to promote the diaspora networks, of course. Please do join the Philippine Nurse Association UK. Um, we will try and bring back the classes again under Philippine Nurse Association. Yep. I will be inviting couple of educators. Yeah. So you will see other educators who will be teaching um what do you call this? Who will be teaching what do you call this? OSCE. Oh, you want autism? Shall we do autism? Okay, okay. I'm easy to get convinced. Okay, autism. This is autism. Let's see if we still have time. Then we can go back to your um. We can go back to the other scenarios. Yeah, if we still have time, let's make it faster so we have more. Um. Yeah. So I just want to promote, of course, be register. If you're from the Philippines, definitely please register. Go to the Philippine Nurse Association website. Um, what else? Of course, if you want the Philippine Nurse Association, of course, definitely feel free to register as well. If you're from India, of course, please register with the British India Nursing Association. If you're from Kenya, we have also the Kenya Nursing Association. We have the Ghana, of course. What else? What other nursing association? We have the Hong Kong Nursing Association. Definitely. Please go to their website so you can register. So they also offer classes like this. Yeah. I'm not sure if they do it regularly, but definitely you can see it on their website. Um. All right. So, autism spectrum disorder marking criteria. So, if you've been, I mean, if you've been following the marking criteria, previously it's not called autism spectrum disorder. It was called Asperger's syndrome before. Okay. So, if you saw the old version of this, it was originally called this as the Asperger's syndrome. Okay. Before. So, according to colleagues who's working in mental health and learning disability, so it's no longer called we don't normally I mean it's no longer called as an as Asperger's syndrome. Yeah, it's now part of the autism spectrum disorder. So that's why they changed the name. They changed the title of this particular scenario. So because Asperger's syndrome is no longer part of the ICD-10. I hope you're familiar with ICD-10. So it's international. What's CD and what's CD? the classification of diseases. There you go. I think I'm wrong. Have a look. Yeah, so Google it. What's the actual what ICD stands for? So, if you're familiar, of course, PhilHealth. People who work in PhilHealth, they remember when back home, isn't it? When someone asks, "What's the ICD-10 code of this disease?" Yeah, it's normally used for PhilHealth, isn't it? But it's ICD-10. It's the list of all diseases. Yeah, and there is a code. Yeah, there is a code for every disease. So now they got rid of it. Okay, because they said but of course, it's sometimes kind of hard to differentiate Asperger's syndrome. So it's now part of the spectrum, ASD. It's now called ASD. According to my colleague, that's the explanation that was given to me. Of course, if also search, it's on Google. Yeah, if you search, um, why is it? I mean, why they remove Asperger's? It's on the internet. You can search it yourself. But yeah, according I heard, of course, I did ask colleagues, the experts. They said that's their explanation. Um, so yeah. Next, 1B. Again, it's the same. 1 and 1A are all the same. Okay, so for 1B, explains to Charlie. So we have a new name here. So Charlie, that healthcare professionals' poor knowledge and lack of understanding of autism spectrum disorder ASD are likely to be a barrier to those people who have autism accessing mental health support and treatment. So Charlie is the person in this um scenario. Okay. You know, of course, you know my next question. Who do we think Charlie is in the scenario? So based on number one, explains to Charlie that healthcare professionals' poor knowledge and lack of understanding of autism spectrum disorder are likely to be a barrier to those people who have autism accessing mental health support and treatment. So, guys, I don't know if you noticed this. The marking criteria is new. Okay? I don't know for those people who started memorizing this or studying ASD, this particular marking criteria changed. Okay? It was different before. Okay? It was different before. So, um, again, this is version 2.2. Again, if you started memorizing this one is new. Okay? There's something different on this marking criteria. I have to just point it out. Okay, this is new. So make sure if you started, I mean, if you know this by heart already, make sure to see or spot the changes. Okay, it's now it's new. It's brand new criteria. Yeah, so it's a brand new criteria for ASD. Um, all right. Who do we think Charlie in this scenario? What's Charlie's role? Is Charlie the patient? Is Charlie the colleague, or is Charlie our next of kin? Yes. Easter agrees with me. It's a brand new, definitely. Yeah, well done. If you spotted it, definitely well done. Yeah, it's a brand new criteria. Okay, so this marking criteria in particular changed compared to the previous one. All right. So who do we think Charlie in this scenario? So thank you, Easter. Easter said that 1E is new. Even 1B, there is an additional information in 1B as well. Okay, so if you've been following the marking criteria, so 1E is definitely new. They added more information. 1B, there's an additional information there as well. Okay, so please make sure to check, but the rest should be the same. So do we know who Charlie is in this situation? Is Charlie the patient, the next of kin, or a service user, or a colleague? What do we think? So Charlie is no guesses. I hope you're still awake. Yeah. Shout out to the 30 million still watching us this evening. All right. What do we think? Who is Charlie? And there is another name on the scenario, okay? There is another name. The other name is Leslie, okay? So Dan said next of kin. Van said a next of kin or a colleague. Well done, okay? So, well done. Thank you for your answer. So, Charlie probably is the next of kin or another or a colleague in this scenario. It's not clear whether the patient is, I mean, Charlie is the next of kin or um, a colleague, but either. It's either. And then there's another name in here. If you see one F, there's another name. Then the other name is called Leslie. Who do we think Leslie in this scenario? Okay. Who do we think Leslie in this scenario? Okay. Just to learn, process the scenario, okay? The entire scenario. So we know that Charlie is probably next of kin or the nurse in this or another a colleague in this scenario. But who do we think Leslie is in this scenario? Patient, well done, Van. Thank you. So possibly Leslie is the patient or the service user in this story. Okay? The service user in this story. There you go. So, all right. Okay, let's now discuss the answer. In mental health, normally they refer patient as service user. Okay? In mental health, learning disability, they normally refer to the patient as a service user. Okay? Oh, thank you, Shasta. Shasta said, thank you for your sessions. I passed my OSCE in first attempt. Well done. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Shasta. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing. So whenever I see these messages, what they call, I appreciate that you share this good news with us. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations for those people um who will be watching this video and you pass the examination. Of course, congratulations. Well done. Well done. That is very good. Passing the OSCE is not really of course OSCE is difficult. Okay. Um, we know that. All right. Going back. Here, explains to Charlie that healthcare professionals' poor knowledge and lack of understanding of autism spectrum disorder are likely to be a barrier to those people who have autism accessing mental health support and treatment. So if we are following the marking criteria, before it was not actually stated on the marking criteria or in the scenario that it was not, it's not directly stated that the patient or the service user in this story is suffering from, apart from of course ASD, suffering from mental health as well, okay, mental health problem. So now for 1B, if you have the old version of the criteria, now we know that they've added this part, yeah, that it will be a barrier for people who have autism accessing mental health support and treatment, yeah, mental health support treatment. So now it's telling us directly that of course apart from this person having autism spectrum disorder, they also are suffering from mental health problem, or they might be needing some mental health support and treatment as well. Okay? So that's the problem, or that's the scenario, okay? That's the story of this scenario. Okay, so again, congratulations, Tressa. Thank you. You did your OSCE in Oxford Brooks. Okay, congratulations. Well done. Um, so 1C. So again, for 1B, we know that you're talking to Charlie and you're telling Charlie about ASD and mental health support. Yeah. So and it's telling us that health healthcare professionals, say a nurse, a doctor, lack of understanding of autism spectrum disorder, it's a barrier definitely to those people who have autism accessing mental health and treatment. Why? Okay, why? Why do you think it's a barrier? So 1C tells us why. Considers that healthcare professionals may need additional training to communicate with people who have autism. Okay, um, maybe it's about communication. Okay, probably the barrier, it's the communication. Do we agree that communication can be a barrier? Definitely, yeah, definitely. It's a barrier. Communication might be a barrier or could be a barrier if we have poor understanding of um, ASD. There you go. So that's why 1C suggests that healthcare professionals such as nurses, doctors, what else? Midwives, of course, AHPs, our allied health professionals, definitely, we need additional training, okay, to communicate with people who have autism. Of course, they have special needs, definitely. 1D explains that people who feel disregarded by healthcare professionals are less likely to seek further help. Because, of course, if you think about it, if you feel disregarded, what I mean, why will you seek for help if you feel disregarded? Yeah. So, if they feel disregarded, they are less likely to seek for further help because again, they might be thinking, oh, they will never understand me. Okay, they will never understand my needs. Okay, um, they will not be able to relate to what I feel, etc. So that's why if they feel disregarded, they may not seek for further help. Okay, so again, the problem in this scenario is about ASD and the mental health aspect. Okay, it's not mentioned what the mental health problem is, but definitely, what if you think about it, what mental health problem can you possibly associate ASD with? Yeah, what possible mental health problem do you think that this person in this scenario might experience? Yeah, if you can type in the comment, what mental health problem do you think they might be experiencing or they could possibly experience in real life? So, whilst waiting for your answer, let's move on. For 1E, informs Charlie that adults who have autism previously diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome before 2013, there you go, are affected by a misperception that they have a learning disability. But this is not true, okay, according to the criteria. However, they may still have difficulties with understanding and processing information. Again, um, adults who have autism previously diagnosed with Asperger's are affected by, there is a misperception that they have learning disability, but that is not true, okay, according to criteria. However, they may still have difficulties with understanding, processing information. Thank you for answering, Diane. Depression, definitely. Um, we don't know if that's the exact scenario in the exam, but of course, as an example, of course, depression. Um, and last but not the least, considers that mental health support and treatment may help Leslie's overall well-being and improve his self-harming behavior. So we can yeah, well done, Dan. So we can identify that there's a problem with self-harming behavior. So Diane mentioned it on the chat, so this is suicidal. There you go. Um, that might be a problem. Okay, that might be part of the scenario or the drama on the scenario. So considers that mental health support and treatment may help Leslie's overall well-being and improve self-harming behavior. So to summarize this, what did we learn from this scenario? You're giving an advice to Charlie. Charlie could be the next of kin, or Charlie could be a colleague, and the patient or the service user here is Leslie. Okay, you're giving advice um, to Charlie. So, what are the key points that we learned? So we learned here that of course poor knowledge might cause for people to seek for help, especially mental health problems. Okay, um, health professionals might need some further training in terms of communication to better understand our service users. Next, um, they people feel disregarded by healthcare professionals. Of course, may less likely to seek for help. And of course, the misperception about learning disability, yeah, which is not true. However, they may have learning difficulties. Difficulties with understanding and processing information. There you go. And of course, it could definitely help with the overall well-being and improving self-harming behavior. Okay, so that's our autism spectrum disorder. So I think it's nearly 10 o'clock in the evening. Okay, are you okay to stay with me until 6 o'clock in the morning? Okay, so I think I'm afraid we have to end our session here tonight. I hope you learned something. Okay, so to summarize what we learned for what's the topic, evidence-based practice, you just need to understand what's written in the marking criteria. Please do not memorize it word for word, because again, what I've mentioned earlier, all this will be written on the scenario. Okay, you just need to, I mean, you can write it in your own words. You can use synonyms, but again, if not, if you want, if you're able to memorize this word per word, why not? Okay, why not? um you can paraphrase it. That is fine. Someone asked earlier, what if it's not in order? That is fine as long as it's there. But of course, make it sense. Definitely make your answer make sense. Definitely. So, if you can answer it in chronological order, same as what's written in the marking criteria. But again, I don't think you will fail because of not writing it in order. Yeah, you will still pass definitely. And look for the keywords, identify the keywords, and understand it. That's the most important thing, because I mean, you will definitely struggle memorizing this if your only target is memorize this word per word. Again, if your target is to memorize this word per word, you will definitely struggle. Most important thing is you analyze it, you memorize this by heart. Okay, you understand it. Okay, so I hopefully all the things that I've mentioned. I know some of them are, I mean, out of the topic, but I hope I mean, you will sleep tonight with something to ponder, something that you learn, something you will always remember forever. We learned the medication for the UTI, and for UTI rather. We learned what's the content of cranberry juice. We learned about ibuprofen and paracetamol. We learned about bronchospasm, cardiac and renal failure, those stuff. We learned today that you can take ibuprofen short term only, isn't it? Less than 7 days. But of course, we still need to recommend that you should take ibuprofen with meals. Okay. We learned today that paracetamol is your drug of choice for soft tissue injury. And as an example, your ankle sprain. Okay. Um, what else did we learn today? Those stuff, isn't it? So I hope you find our session this evening useful. And of course, guys, again, please do follow me on my social media accounts. Yeah. Follow me on YouTube. Of course, invite your friends. Watch my videos. Of course, you will also see some travel vlogs in there. I will start traveling soon, so I hope I can take you with me. And of course, you follow me. Yeah? Next week there will be an event I'm joining. If you don't know what event I'm going to attend, go to my TikTok account. Yeah, you will see the announcement there. I will take you with me on that journey. Okay. All right. Good night, everybody. Again, good luck on your examinations. Of course, if you share that you pass the exam, I will be very happy. We are all rooting for you. I will be rooting for you definitely. I will be cheering with you guys, and hopefully, I will be able to see you in person in the future. Yeah, say hello if you see me. All right. Good evening, everyone. Have a good night. Yeah. See you on the next one. See you in the next one. Okay. Let me know what topic do you want to discuss next. Okay. Good night, everyone.